Hi, my name's Rob Barber from Bodyboard Holidays, and today I'm going to talk to you about fin rub avoidance and then dealing with a fin rub when you've got one. So unfortunately, one of the slight drawbacks, one of the few drawbacks of being a bodyboarder is that you get fin rubs occasionally, and it's kind of a fact of life. So dealing with it is something that is an invaluable skill. So first of all, the type of fin that you use will determine how high the chances of getting rubs. So the Churchill style fin, this is actually a Pride version, Pride Vulcan, but this asymmetrical design where the fins are kind of shaped like a dolphin's tail, they're more likely to give you rubs in my experience. And the reason is, as you kick your foot, then your foot is kind of going like that. So inside your foot is kind of getting turned, and that's what causes the abrasion, okay? So if you're constantly getting rubs in this type of fin and you can't kind of stop it, then it might be time to change fin. So yeah, sometimes symmetrical fins like this will always, in my experience, symmetrical fins like this will definitely twist less and as a result create less rubs. So yeah, this is a good one to go for. Also Vipers and a few other types, tubes blunt cuts, and the new Hubbard fins are the same as well. So yeah, something to remember. So classic fin rubbed places are kind of across the top of the foot here, okay? So on the top of your foot you kind of get rubs, and that is very hard to sort of get rid of once you've got it. Also on the knuckles of your toes, sometimes underneath your heel strap where your fin strap goes around, then that can be an area, and under there. I've got a few scars on my feet from fin rubs in the past. Now the thing to remember is that if you're going on a bodyboarding trip or one of the bodyboarding holidays with us, if you know you're likely to get fin rubs in a specific place, is to act before you get it. So start by putting on a plaster in that place, and the plasters that I recommend are these ones. They're called COMPEED, and they are rubberized, and they're actually meant for blisters that sort of ladies get when they wear high heels and things, but they tend to stay on inside your fin as long as you put them on when your foot is dry, a good time before you put your fin on. So I always try and put it on the night before I know I'm going to go bodyboarding, and they tend to stay on. And when you put them on, say if it's on the top of your foot, hold it on like that for a while, and it tends to create a really good bond, and will usually stay on for a good few sessions, if not like the whole week or two. So yeah, that's a really good tip. So yeah, preventative is better than after the event. The other thing is, like, check your feet once you've been bodyboarding, because if you get a little rub beginning to happen, you can catch it early, solve the problem maybe before it breaks the skin too much, or before it turns into like a weeping cut, because that is really hard to get better once they kick in, especially if you're somewhere here like we're in El Salvador at the moment, and anywhere with tropical temperatures makes your cuts much more slow to mend. So if somebody once told me that cuts on your feet take 7 times longer than cuts anywhere else on your body to mend. So certainly something I've experienced. Once you've got a cut on your foot, it takes ages to get better. So yeah, preventative is definitely the best. Now, if you're on a trip and you've got a rub, then the top tip that I'll give you is to try and change fins. So if you've got the option to stop using the fin that's rubbing and to use another pair of fins, then that will not rub in the same place, so that's a really good course of action. The other thing to use is, if your fin will fit, then wear one of these little fin slippers, so that will stop the rub happening, or stop it getting any worse. We also have, so I travel with this little pack everywhere just in case this happens. We also have this product called the Bodyboard Depot heel shield. So that's just a rubberized pad which lives around the heel strap, and that stops it happening as well, or can reduce it, prevent it. So that's a really good protector. Alternatively, I've actually found in the past that getting a piece of neoprene and attaching it round the heel strap, and even just sewing it in place, so sewing it nice and tight in the position that you need to have it. So even if you don't, you can cut these down and maybe just put that little bit there around that bit there, so that would protect that bit there. I found that works. And I carry a little sewing kit so that I could sew it in place if needs be. So that's really a really useful way of stopping it. Finally, more radical way, and it's completely up to you whether you do this or not. I've done it in the past and it's worked, is to get one of these little plasters and then get some super glue and actually glue it to your skin in the place that you're finding you're getting the rub. Now, yeah, it does sound pretty rad, and like I said, it's totally up to you if you do that. I don't know whether that's medically sound to advise that, but I'm just saying that I use it. But yeah, it's worked for me in the past, so it can save you getting any more fin pain. Now, once you've got a fin cut and it's broken the skin, then you really need to look after it. You need to manage the wound. So the plan is definitely to clean it out and get some antiseptic on there, so some Savlon, for example, and then or Germaline, something like that. And then my advice is to then keep it covered up as much as you can if you're going to be wandering around in flip-flops or places that you're likely to be picking up dirt and rubbish to go in the cut. I've found personally that by leaving it open, it's got a higher chance of getting infected and also getting gunk and rubbish in there. So, so that's my personal opinion. I've spoken to nurses and other people in the past who said, no, leave it open, but that's what I found works best. It sort of has a much better chance of not getting infected if you're keeping it covered up. Usually I've found that when you're on a bodyboard trip, then the fin rub can be sort of really angry and annoying throughout the trip, and then usually as soon as you get home, you're bodyboarding less, your fin cut will get better quite quickly. So you're gaining the water all the time. That makes the cut ulcerated, and as a result, it will get worse quite quickly. I've had guys come on my Indo trip before, get a fin rub on the first couple of days, not deal with it, and by the second week not be able to get in the water because their foot's so infected and so painful. So don't be that guy. Deal with the problem early, get it sorted, and it won't be a hassle. So yeah, you just have to take it pretty seriously, and it will save you ruining any sessions. So hope that's helpful. Drop us a line if you need any more tips. Catch up with you soon.